right, good morning. It is currently 5:55 a.m. I'm leaving Atlanta, Georgia, going to pick up my new Chevy Colorado ZR2. Super excited. It's a 2024. It's brand new. It's the first time I've ever had a brand new car. I've always bought used. Yeah, that's what I landed on. I'm currently in a 2010 F-150. It's got 233,000 miles on it. It's got the 5.4 Triton, the beloved or hated 5.4 Triton in it. But for me, it's ran phenomenal. I've literally never had any issues with it before. So that being that, we're going to pick up a new truck today. I'm super excited. I'm gonna take you guys along with me so we can kind of do a quick overview of the dealership. The dealership that I'm getting it at is actually 3 hours away. It's 200 miles away. The reason that I went with this dealership, there's a couple of reasons. When I was trying to find this ZR2, which is the trim that I landed on that I wanted, I was searching, pretty much locally here in Atlanta. And if you've been doing any sort of car searching, at least this year, I don't know about years in the past, but like everything says it's in transit. There's like nothing available at dealerships. And what would happen is I would surf the Chevy website, and then I would find one. It would say available now. I call up at the dealership like, yeah, we got it, blah, blah, blah. And then for some reason, they're like, oh, well, actually it's sold. Or, one guy told me, he's like, yeah, it's currently in the shop. I'm like, a 2024 is in the shop? Like, what the heck is that, man? So I couldn't find anything local to Atlanta, so I expanded my search. And it was actually a funny story. I found one, if you're familiar, up in Dawsonville, which is kind of towards North Georgia. And I called the guy when I was like 7:30. I was on vacation last week, and I called the guy. I was like, hey, look, man, I want it. I was like, let's do what we need to do. I'll put a deposit on it. We can run, the financing. We can get it all done tonight if you want to. This is at 7:30. They closed at 8. And 8 o'clock rolls around. It's like, all right, man, let's finish up in the morning or whatever. I hadn't done any financing or put a deposit on it or anything. And I get a text from the guy the next morning. He's like, hey, man, sorry to tell you, but before I came into work this morning, that truck had already sold. I'm like, what? He's like, I'll let you know if it doesn't go through for some reason. So I was like, all right, I guess there's not really any other options. So while we're on vacation, I'm just looking, and I found one in Alabama, which is like I said, 3 hours away. And I was like, all right, let me just call this guy. I called the guy. Funny enough, it was actually the cheapest ZR2 in the country at the time, and it was about $2,000 less than the one in Georgia. So I called the guy. I told him the issues I've been having trying to get one of these trucks. He's like, all right, man, look, give me $500, we'll put it down, and we'll get everything worked out. So that week while I was on vacation, we ended up getting everything worked out, and now we're back from our trip, and here we go. It's 6 a.m. got 3 hours ahead of me, so I'll check in with you guys once we get a little bit closer. All right, we're about an hour out. I'm gonna give you guys a quick little update. I had to stop and get some gas. When I put some gas in the truck this morning, I thought I put enough in to get there, but I still needed just a little bit more. So I'm curious what you guys would do if you were going to pick up a new car and you had to put gas in your car. How much gas are you putting in there? How much gas are you leaving in your car at the dealership? Because I put enough to where I'm showing up at that dealership, it's gonna say I've got like 10 miles until I've got an empty tank. So when I do get there, I'm gonna do a quick run through of my current truck, kind of what I drive now. Like I said earlier, it's a 2010 Ford F-150 FX4. It's been a great truck, but I'll do a quick run through of what it currently is, and then once I pick up the new one, we'll do a quick walkthrough. Everything at this dealership has been fantastic so far. Everybody has been super great. My salesperson has been awesome. As long as everything goes well when I get there, which I know it will, I'll shout out this dealership for you guys. So if you're in Alabama, I'll let you know where it was. You know, I didn't feel like they were trying to play any games or anything over the phone or anything like that. So I said, as long as it's cool, when I get there, I'll let you guys know who it is. And next time you see me, we'll do a quick walk through my current truck. All right, guys, this is what we're trading in. Like I said, it's a 2010 Ford F-150 FX4. Little story behind this. You know, I've had this truck for about close to 10 years now. When I was younger, this was my dream truck. I just wanted a blacked out F-150, and you know, so I found one that I could afford. Paid 20 grand for this thing back close to 10 years ago. It had around 100,000 miles on it. And it's done well. Now we're at 235,000 miles on it. Time to get this thing traded in. It's been amazing. It's had leather seats, heated seats, you know, but the technology on this thing just, you know, isn't there, obviously. You know, it's a 2010, it's a 15-year-old truck. But for what it was, it has been absolutely fantastic. It's just my magnets and all the stuff that I got to bring back to Atlanta with me. But I mean, for such an old truck, I mean, this will be great for somebody for like a first car, you know, or somebody who just needs something just to kind of get around in. But here it is. And once we get the new truck, I'm excited to show you guys what it's going to look like. All right, we are finally arriving to the dealership. It's a little over a 3-hour drive. Then I did that stop so that way we could review my current truck, do a quick little overview. So I am pulling in now. Hopefully it only takes me within an hour so I can get out of here as soon as possible. I'm super excited, and I'll talk to you guys in just a little bit. There she is. All right, here it is. Picked it up. It's a 2024 Chevy Colorado ZR2. We've got it in the sand dune metallic color. And this thing is so clean, man. I mean, it just looks so cool. Place I got it from was a place called Joe V. Clayton Chevrolet in Arab, Alabama. It's a small town. It's about 200 miles away from me, but you know, they gave me a great deal on it, way better than anybody local here to Atlanta would give me. And so I decided to make the drive. The experience at the dealership was absolutely phenomenal. They took care of me. As soon as I walked in, the owner of the dealership was there. He shook my hand and said, "Hey, thanks for coming in. Thanks for doing business with us. You know, we appreciate you, you know, making the drive over here." So a couple things I was, you know, worried about is going to the dealership is, you know, they had offered me a certain amount on my trade-in, and, you know, obviously it was sight unseen. So I was just worried about showing up and they were going to be like, "Oh, well, you know, we can't offer you, you know, what we offered you because of this, that, and the other." But you know, I got my truck in there, the F-150, and there was no problems with that. They took it. I don't even think that they test drove it. You know, when I went and pulled up to the dealership, he just tossed me the keys, like, "All right, man, look, you drove 200 miles. Just go make sure that you love it, and we'll sign some paperwork." I was in the dealership probably for a total of an hour, a little bit longer than I wanted to, but most of that time was actually just going over all the features with the CarPlay and the you know, the driving assistance with what is it, adaptive cruise control, you know, all those cool features. I had never had a vehicle that's had that, so the salesperson just sat with me in the truck and just went over, you know, every single thing on there. So I'm really excited. I know there's going to be a lot that I want to do to this truck. In the past, I haven't really ever done much to my truck. You know, with the F-150, like I said, I wanted a, you know, blacked out F-150. So, you know, we got the black wheels and the black taillights and all that. You know, we blacked it out. But, you know, I was a little bit younger, and, you know, at the time I was like, man, that is so cool. So You know, there's a lot of things that I want to do to this truck, but I want to kind of keep it looking a little bit more, you know, OEM minus, you know, maybe like some pod lights, you know, light bar, you know, just small cool things like that, but tasteful things that look good and are functional. One of the things that I want to do is, you know, get more into taking this truck off-road. And living in Georgia, there's not a whole lot of places that you can go to go off-roading. You know, I'm not talking about like mud bogging or anything like that, but you know, just taking on some cool trails. And so I want to just make sure that this thing is absolutely fit for that, so I don't have any problems. I've never done anything really to vehicles myself, so it's going to definitely be a learning experience. So if you guys want to learn how to do some of the stuff that I'm going to do, you know, just subscribe and turn on notifications, so when the next video comes out, you know, we'll be able to go through that. A cool thing that actually worked out is I was looking for dash cams for this truck, and I found a company who makes like this OEM style dash cam, but they didn't have any for the Colorado. So I messaged them. I was like, hey, when are you guys gonna have this available for the Colorado? They're like, well, we just don't have the piece below the rear view mirror to be able to like 3D print or whatever they're gonna do to make the dash cam. They're like, look, would you send us yours? So I was like, I don't know about that, you know. They're like, well, if you send us yours, then we'll send you a dash cam for free. So I didn't want to send them mine, so I hopped on the Chevy website and actually found that part. Cost me 10 bucks. They're covering shipping, and they're gonna reimburse me for that. And they're gonna create the dash cam and send it to me, you know. It's a company out of China, so worst case scenario, you know, I'm out a total of, you know, 20, 25 bucks. But, you know, if they deliver and they give me that dash cam, you know, we'll install it and kind of see. So let's take a look at the inside real quick. This is just a quick overview video. I'll do a little bit more in depth on my next video. But a couple things that I went with was the tech package. So it's got adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist. We went with the safety, the tech, and then the convenience 3 package. The convenience 3 is what gives you the ventilated leather seats. So it's got cooled seats, heated seats, you know, the whole 9 yards on that. I've loved it. You know, I've loved it so far. It's been super nice, a super good experience driving this truck. You know, I've driven it for a few hundred miles now, and you know, I'm gonna do a video once we get to about 1,000 miles or so, kind of like my initial impressions, go over some of the things that I like, some of the things I dislike about it, and you know, stay tuned for that. I should have that video out in a couple of days. We'll go through all that stuff, and you know, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you're interested in seeing the journey with this new ZR2, just like I said, subscribe, like the video, comment, tell me, you know, what are some things that you would suggest that I do. Like I said, I've never really done much to a truck before, so I'm definitely open to suggestions. So please, you know, feel free to leave your suggestions in the comment section on, you know, what are some of the things that I should do to this truck. And that's it for this one. I'll see you guys in the next.